good spot with less reverb. Today's episode is coming to you from my closet. I thought I'd keep it a bit entertaining, you know, change up the location, and hopefully the video isn't as echoey. If it is, I'm sorry. You'll notice the seedy moustache I have added to the repertoire. I hope you can still take me somewhat seriously with it. Give you a bit of a rundown of what's changed in the game so far. It's really looking pretty much the same as it was when you last would have seen it. I still got the same job, which is cool, but I've been working a fair bit more on the game, and I've kind of refactored it from the ground up. So the core game engine has been redesigned a little bit for a better movement system, and hopefully it will allow me to add some more units in the future more easily. So I'll talk about like that redesign, I think, in this video. I'll probably bring my microphone from my computer into this closet and just sit in here and do the voiceover. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. Alright, so if I open up the old project, so if we're looking here at the way that these boards are designed, you can see that these weird feelers exist around each tile, and then the units are just units like that. These feelers around each tile is what they use to navigate to tiles around themselves. This tile here has another tile within its little overlapping area, like this, so these would now be overlapping. This tile would know that there's a tile on top of it. Then if there's a unit sitting on top of that tile, it can also see that and know that it can move left or right. This is the old system. If we now look at the new system, you can see that all units have these two areas. This one here is the unit area, and then this hidden one here, which is bigger, is its detector area, is what I've kind of called it. Now, the unit area itself is what bounds the unit. This is what other units will check for to see if they can see another unit. Then this second area is kind of what this unit can see itself. So now if we look at a board here, you can see how this works. These units all have feelers. These ones do too, but I just have that disabled at the moment. Now this unit here can now see that this tile is within its range, so it knows it can move there. It can also see this tile, but it will check to see if there's any units on top of that, which there are, so it won't try to move there. This means I don't have to try and line up tiles perfectly anymore. As long as they're just somewhere within this range, it will know that it could move there. And the same goes for these units here. Now this works well for a combat as well, because when these units are next to each other, this is how they know that there is an enemy unit nearby, when this bigger circle here overlaps with this unit's area. And then these would now stop moving and start fighting each other. One of the other main changes I have made is that the movement logic now comes more from within the unit itself instead of from a board controller, and this just makes it easier for the unit to know what it's up to, and it makes state management easier. So the units themselves get signals from the game controller that tell it when it's playing time, and here you can see I've named the class Ant Unit, but there's a board controller up here. So we have resting, running, and then the game starts off with resting, right? And so certain behavior only gets checked during the correct state. So the board will only try and see if there's a winner, for example, if we're currently not at rest. Similarly, you'll see here with a unit, it can be resting or playing, and it will only try and attack and move if it's playing. So here we can see that if it's not on a tile and we aren't playing, then we're just going to return. So we're not going to let the unit do any kind of checking to see if it's going to attack or try and move. We'll try and find a target near itself. So yeah, as you can see, this is really the current state of the game. If I play it, it looks a bit munted because I'm trying to figure out the UI, but I've just centralized out an inventory manager, a shop manager, and then the game itself. And now I have these all on the same screen, but normally you'd show one at a time and they wouldn't be lined up so weirdly. But I think the way I've made these controllers is much more elegant now, and also a lot more scalable. Here I've also made use of the singleton pattern, so you can see here I have controllers for all sorts of things, and this is just a nice centralized place to store, in this case, inventory data, and retrieve it without having to make a weird node to use that. So yeah, that's pretty much this update.